This is looking pretty good. Got some ice painted terrain, some snow. I feel like it's missing something though. I know. We need some fog. Now that's cool. See what I did there? Welcome to the nerdery. What's going on, Internet? Lambo here, coming to you again from the nerdery, bringing you another terrain build video. This one for Gloomhaven, Scenario 25, Icecrag Ascent. So, if you don't want to know what's in Icecrag Ascent, don't watch the video, because I'm going to show off everything, terrain, monsters, traps, the whole thing. But I don't know why you do that to yourself, because then you wouldn't be able to see what this cool level. So, if it was me, 9 out of 10 Lambos recommend watching the video. And the 10th one does too. Okay, anyway, what do we got going on? We have some Talisman, Saber, terrain I have designed, printed, painted, with the help of my partner and friend Jay, or Bravo Gaming. And this is the terrain that we've come up with for what would be our Frosthaven style. That would include like the paint scheme, snow flocking, the whole thing. Granted, we don't know what's in the actual Frosthaven board game scenario book yet, but you can count on our terrain looking something like this when that actually happens. Okay, overhead shot of the level itself. So that's what it's supposed to look like per the scenario book. And that's what I came up with right there. There you go. With some extras. Like a low-lying fogger. So I had to do that. I've been wanting a like a gaming fogger for a long time. And I ordered one, well, actually last year, I pre-ordered a Fog Monster 2, which is a game fogger for like Dungeons & Dragons or tabletop games or whatever it is you want to do with it. But it hasn't come yet due to, I think, delays from COVID and Chinese shipping container shortages and whatever else. So I did the next best thing, and that's take some Halloween props and built my own game fogger for this particular level because I needed fog for the cool looking ice terrain. I just had to have it. So if I built one of these cheap little fog things right there, if you're interested in wanting to know how I built that and how you could do one too, let me know in the comments below. And if there's interest, I will create one on film so that you can see how easy it was. The only problem is it does get a little messy with water residue, so you get like, actually sometimes you have water dripping out, just by the way I built it, and because, it's using mist. But thankfully, Talisman Saber Terrain is completely waterproof, and so is the snow flocking, so water, no, doesn't hurt it, no harm, no foul. Alright, what else we got going on? Alright, let's get in and check out the whole level here. Other terrain elements. You have a resin water effect back there, or, supposed to be more like ice water. You got your Scenic overlays, so your rock tiles, 2 hex rocks, single hex pillar, or not pillars, like stalagmites, and the standard rocks back there. Those are all also Talisman Saber Terrain type rocks. Got your traps, which remove to reveal tile underneath when sprung. Got your chest, which is also available from us. I don't know if we actually have it on the site yet, but we're going to get that up soon. Yeah, so that's all the terrain. Oh, and extra cool stuff for the terrain. I have been playing around with... I'm going to slide this around. The lighting works. Sorry. I'm playing around with what I call Scenic risers. So, instead of just having your standard, what would be these hex risers down here, viewable, I've been designing Scenic ones that would kind of keep with the immersiveness of the level. So the exterior ones that are visible just to the outside and are just more pillars, there are these ones which I could paint and try and match more of the style of the level, adding to that immersive feeling. I like that. I've also been creating stalactites, which hang underneath and clip to the bottom of the terrain. And I'm going to actually pull off the low-lying fogger now, since I'm starting to spin the table around. So, 1 second while I move this. So if you look over here, it's a better view. You have stalactites that I have been creating. There's down there, down there. I've got a different style, which is just more of a rounded one. Let me get underneath. Whoop. So just kind of a rounded one right there. Oh, that's out of focus. Sorry about that. Anyway, and then these Scenic risers are 3 hexes tall. I've got the other ones, like this guy here, who's just, they're 1 hex tall, so they're stacked at 3 or 4. But yeah, I've been playing around with that kind of stuff as well to just kind of add options to what you can do with your terrain, or in my case, my terrain. Things that I wanted to see on my table, I've been starting to play with. And the reason I have gotten really into kind of designing a bunch of different type of things is because we've been asked over and over again about digital terrain files. And I'm happy to announce that Jay and I have decided that we will be launching a digital terrain Kickstarter in the near future, hopefully the next month or two, where we can offer the digital files for the terrain that we build and have created for you to print at home and paint on your own. And you have to rely on me or Jay to do it, because dang, that's a lot of work, trust me. But then you can do it, and you'll see how much work it is. But then I can offer a lot of like unique, smaller files that I would just want to design that might have a small use in 1 or 2 scenarios, but aren't needed in every scenario. And while that wouldn't do so well as a physical product that people would just want to buy for 1 or 2 things, if it's a 3D file, I know if I see something cool, I'm downloading and printing it all the time for my stuff. So you can do the same thing, hopefully, in the near future. Taliesin Saber Terrain Kickstarter, coming to a Kickstarter near you. All right. What else we got? Okay, minis. I've covered the terrain. Miniatures that I use to substitute for my game. Let's go on to the bridge here, where we have our hounds. The regular hounds, non-elite ones. Hopefully this stays in focus for you. I'll probably have to change that. Okay, there we go. Sorry. That is a Song of Ice and Fire miniature, which is a tactical board game, which I have yet to try out, even though I have it just sitting there. It's been there forever. I'm going to try it one of these days. But I use their Hound models from Bolton Bastards Girls. And those are the Hounds. And then the elites that I'm using are the Wolfpack. That's going to go out of focus again, guaranteed. There we go. These are 3D printed on an FDM printer. This is printed on my Ender 3 back in the day. Those are by Printed Obsession. I think you can get those on My Mini Factory. Focus. But yeah, so those are my Wolfpack Hound models. I'm actually in the process of reprinting a lot of the FDM prints that I did early on in resin now that I have a resin printer. And so my theory is once I get around to it, I'll just start doing like giveaways of all my FDM models that I'm not using anymore. And maybe like prints that aren't the right size for what I want, but are still useful models. My plan is I'll do like giveaways every so often, and just end of a video, you can, if you like a 3D printed model that I have that I can't use anymore, I'll give it away. Anyway, stay tuned for that kind of stuff. Rending Drakes. Okay, I love these Rending Drake models. Let's get in there close. That is a Delani Depth Dragon. That's by Artisan Guild. Really like that model quite a bit. Okay. And then for the... Let's go this way. Oh, I just lost a dragon. Okay. Over here. Sorry. Just give you a different shot of the map. We've got these guys. These bad boys right here. You've got your spitting drakes, right? That is a file 3D printed by Crosslances, who is a person or persons, I don't actually know. Unfocused, sorry. And they do a lot, he or they or she do a lot of models that are tailored more towards Gloomhaven. And I liked that particular dragon because the wingspan isn't massive. And that's a major issue I found when I'm trying to find cool dragons to print for Gloomhaven, is that I have a limited space. I've got a hex that is, yay wide. And I've got a scale of miniatures, which is, yay big. And I want to try and keep that and not have a wingspan that extends 3, 4, 5 hexes. And finding dragon files on like My Mini Factory that actually maintain a more condensed wingspan is very challenging. Not impossible, But so this is one of the ones I really liked and was easy for me to get printed and painted. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to get another one or two for elite models to differentiate like I like to do for my elites and standard monsters. But if you like that, Crosslances on my mini factories where I found them, go get it and print it yourself. All right, I think that is everything for this map. And yeah, I really went to town on the risers. I think it's like 12 or 13 risers tall at the back. But I really, Icecrag Ascent, really wanted this level to be as if you were climbing up, or the party was climbing up the mountain, right? Because that's what it says, is they're going up to the top of this mountain. So I wanted this thing to go all out with as ridiculous amount of terrain risers as they could. And so if you're into 3D printing, you could do the same if you get the Kickstarter when we eventually launch it in the near future. All right. So yeah, that has been Talisman Saber Terrain, the 3D terrain build for scenario 25. There's the printers going in the back. I think most of them are done. One's still going. The CR6, I love that printer. That was on the Kickstarter. Smooth print and super quiet. I don't know if, for me it's super quiet, but maybe you hear it louder in the microphone right now. So anyway, there's all the printers going, or done. There's the minis that I've got, and the games I still need to paint. All right. Any questions, comments, leave them below. If you're interested in the Kickstarter, let me know. If you're interested in how to build a cheap terrain fogger, super cheap, let me know. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you around. And as always, happy gaming.